Most people are dead set on one idea about retirement, that they've got to replace their entire paycheck. Whatever you're earning right now, you better have that same amount coming in once you stop working or you're going to come up short. And I get why it feels that way. It's also the reason a lot of folks grind away at a job for years longer than they actually had to. But that whole idea misses something big. The day you stop working, the tax code basically starts treating you like a different person, and that same income ends up costing you a fraction of what it does today. Let me show you what I mean. Two people, each bringing in the same $100,000 this year, same amount right down to the dollar. The only thing different about them is their age and their situation. One is 62 and still heading to work every single morning. The other is 70 and retired. You would figure their tax bills land somewhere close to each other. They don't even come close. The one who's still working is handing the IRS over $20,000. Meanwhile, the retiree on that exact same $100,000 pays around $3,000. That's a difference of more than $17,000 a year for two people living on the identical amount of money. Now, one quick thing before we get into it. If you've been hearing that the 2025 tax law made Social Security tax-free, that's not actually what happened. I'll walk you through what really changed because believing the wrong version of that is how retirees end up handing over money they never needed to. I'm John, so here's the plan for the next few minutes. I'm going to put these two people right next to each other and actually walk through their taxes piece by piece. The worker first, then the retiree. So you can see for yourself exactly where that $17,000 comes from. And I'm not going to hand you some vague, well, retirees just pay less answer. I'll show you the real reasons one at a time in plain dollars in a way that makes sense, even if you've never once thought about how any of this works. Now, here's the part most videos won't tell you. That $17,000 gap, it's not a sure thing. There's one set of decisions, and you're making them way before you ever retire, that could leave that exact same retiree paying nearly triple the tax. I'll show you both versions so you can figure out which side of that line you're sitting on. And by the time we're done, depending on how close you are to retirement, you're going to walk away with something that honestly changes the whole math on your plan. That income number you've been carrying around in your head all this time is probably way more than you actually need. In fact, you might be a lot closer to retiring than you think. Before we start putting real dollars on these two, there's one idea you've got to have locked in, because once this lands, everything else in the video falls right into place. When you're working, the money you spend and the money you get taxed on are pretty much the same thing. Your salary is your salary. All of it's on the table. But in retirement, those two numbers split apart, and sometimes they split apart by a mile. You can have a full $100,000 a year landing in your bank account while the amount the IRS actually treats as taxable is half that, or even less. So keep that difference in the back of your mind the whole way through. What you live on and what you get taxed on stop being the same number once you retire. And one quick note on all these numbers. Everything I'm showing you is federal tax only. State taxes are all over the place, and there's no way to cover them all in a single video. But here's the good news. Most states don't tax Social Security at all. So for most of you watching, that federal number is the floor, not the ceiling. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the working version because it's the more straightforward of the two. So you're earning $100,000, and before you even get to income tax, the government takes its first bite. And that bite is called FICA, F-I-C-A. FICA is just the tax that pays into Social Security and Medicare. And here's the thing about it. While you're working, you pay it on every single dollar you earn. It's 6.2% going to Social Security, another 1.45% to Medicare, which together comes out to 7.65%. On a $100,000 salary, that's $7,650 gone right off the top before you ever see it land in your account. Then you've got your federal income tax sitting on top of that. Now, the good news is they don't tax your whole salary. Everybody gets to knock off the standard deduction first, and that's just the slice of income the government lets you earn completely tax-free. For a single person in 2026, that slice is $16,100. Take it off your $100,000, and you're down to $83,900 that can actually be taxed. And here's something a lot of people genuinely get wrong, so let me clear it up. You don't pay one flat rate on that $83,900. Your income kind of climbs a staircase. The first $12,400 only gets taxed at 10%. The next chunk, up to about $50,000, gets taxed at 12%. And it's only the money above that which gets hit with the 22% rate. So even though you'd say I'm in the 22% bracket, the truth is most of your income is taxed way below that. Run through all those steps, add them up, and your income tax comes out to about $13,170. So let's total it all up. You've got $7,650 in FICA plus $13,170 in income tax, and the working version of you is handing over right now about $20,820 on your $100,000 of income. That works out to an effective tax rate of almost 21%. Hang on to that number, $20,820. And now let's flip over to the retired version of you, also pulling in $100,000 for the year. But where's that money coming from? Because that changes absolutely everything. For this example, your $100,000 is going to come from three different places. $34,000 from Social Security, $30,000 that you pull out of a traditional IRA, and $36,000 you take out of a regular brokerage account. Now, every real retiree situation looks different, so don't take this as an exact prescription for your situation. It's just one realistic example. Let's tax each piece and watch what happens to it. First up, FICA. That 7.65% the working version of you was paying on every dollar? Well, in retirement, it's just gone. You don't pay Social Security and Medicare tax on your retirement income, period. Why? Because you're now collecting Social Security instead of paying into it. And FICA only taxes earned income from work or effort. So that's already $7,650 staying in your pocket that the worker never got to keep. Next, because you're retired and collecting Social Security, we need to talk about how that income from Social Security is taxed. And this is the spot where almost everybody gets tripped up, so let me slow down here. You've probably heard the line that up to 85% of your Social Security is taxable. Most people hear that and kind of panic. They picture the government swooping in and taking 85% of their check. That's not what it means, not even close. What it actually means is that, at most, 85% of your benefit gets added onto your pile of taxable income, and then it just gets taxed at your normal rate, same as everything else. At least 15% of your Social Security is always tax-free, no matter how much money you've got. And honestly, for a lot of retirees, way less than that full 85% ever gets counted. How much of it counts comes down to how much other income you've got coming in. The more you're pulling from those other sources, the more of your Social Security gets dragged into being taxable, up to that 85% ceiling. In our example here, with the IRA money and a bit of investment income in the picture, about $24,000 of your $34,000 in Social Security ends up on the taxable pile. The other $10,000 or so, never taxed. The exact math happens behind the scenes, but the takeaway is that a real chunk of your Social Security gets shielded automatically. And since we're sitting right here, this is the thing people got wrong about that 2025 law. It didn't make Social Security tax-free. Everything I'm describing now, those rules haven't budged an inch. What the law actually did was add a brand new deduction for seniors, and I'll get to that in just a second, but the rules for how Social Security itself gets taxed are exactly the same as they've always been. Okay, third piece, the $30,000 coming out of your traditional IRA. This one's easy. A traditional IRA is one of those accounts where you got a tax break on the way in back when you first put the money away. So now, on the way out, every dollar is taxable. There's no way around it. The whole $30,000 lands on the taxable pile. The fourth piece, the $36,000 from the brokerage account, this is the one that really catches people off guard. When you sell $36,000 worth of stock, you didn't earn $36,000. Most of that is just your own money coming back to you, money you already paid taxes on years ago when you first put it in. The only part that counts as income is the growth. So let's say you originally invested $26,000 and it grew to $36,000. Only that $10,000 of growth is taxable. The other $26,000 is literally just your own cash coming home to you, totally tax-free. And now, here's the part that really gets people. That $10,000 of investment growth, it gets taxed at 0%. Zero. And no, I'm not making a mistake here. Long-term investment gains get their own special lower rates, and when your taxable income is low enough, under about $49,000 for a single person in 2026, the rate on those gains is flat out zero. Go above that, and it's 15%, which is still a whole lot friendlier than the regular income tax rates. So that entire $10,000 comes through without being touched. Okay, so let's add up the taxable pile in this situation. We've got about $24,000 in taxable Social Security, plus the $30,000 from the IRA, plus the $10,000 of growth, so roughly $64,000 that the IRS is going to start with. But remember, retirees get bigger deductions than workers do. Once you hit 65, your standard deduction gets bigger. And on top of that, that 2025 law I mentioned tacked on a new senior deduction worth $6,000 per person. But heads up, that one's temporary. It's set to expire after 2028, so keep that in the back of your mind. Stack all of those deductions together, and they knock out around $24,000 of that pile. So once all the dust settles, your actual taxable income drops to somewhere around $39,000. And don't forget, $10,000 of that is the investment growth just sitting there at zero. The tax on what's left adds up to about $3,340 for the whole year. So let's put the two of these scenarios right next to each other. There's the working you on $100,000 paying $20,820 in taxes. Then there's the retired you on that exact same $100,000 paying $3,340. That's a difference of more than $17,000 a year. And if you break that down by month, the retired you is keeping about $1,460 more in your pocket every single month on identical income purely because of the way that income gets taxed. Now, I've got to be straight with you here because this is exactly where a lot of videos kind of mislead people. That $3,340 tax bill, it wasn't automatic. The only reason it came out that low is that this retiree's income was set up well, spread across Social Security, an IRA, and investments in a way that kept the tax bill down. And most people's retirement money, unfortunately, is just not arranged that neatly. So let me show you the other end of the range to give you a picture. Imagine that exact same retiree, same $100,000 a year, but instead of pulling it from three places, every single dollar of it comes straight out of a traditional IRA, which, to be honest with you, is where most people's retirement savings actually sit. Well, now, every dollar is taxable. Even after those bigger senior deductions, the taxable income lands around $77,000 and the tax bill comes out to about $11,700 for the year. So just look at what happened there. Same person, same $100,000. One version pays $3,340 and the other one pays $11,700. That's a swing of more than $8,000 in a single year, and the only thing that changed is which accounts the money came out of. Now stretch that over 20 or a 25-year retirement, and you're talking somewhere between $160,000 and $200,000 in taxes, either paid or saved. And that's the part I really want you to sit with for a second. That gap between working and retired is absolutely real, but how big it actually turns out to be for you, that comes down to choices you're making about where your money lives long before you ever retire. The retiree who paid almost nothing didn't get lucky. They just had money sitting in different types of accounts, and they pulled from them in a smart, strategic order. Now, how you actually set all that up, which accounts to put money into, when to move it around, how to draw it out once you're retired so you stay near that tax floor, that's a whole big topic on its own, and I've got a full video on it coming soon. But for today, the takeaway is a lot simpler than all of that. The gap is real, and a big chunk of how large it gets comes down to you. So if this video changed how you think about your retirement number, the next one does the same for how you build it by answering the question, when is the exact moment your contributions stop mattering and growth becomes self-sustaining? I'll see you there.